Welcome to The Explainer. Ever stop and think about what actually happens to your money the moment you decide to invest it? I mean, where does it really go? Today, we're going to follow the incredible journey of just a single dollar. And trust me, it's a wild ride.
It almost always starts with something simple, something we can all relate to, a personal goal, a dream for the future. But here's the thing, that dollar doesn't just sit there in an account. Nope, it gets put to work.
It goes on this remarkable journey, one that connects her savings directly to the engine of our entire economy. And this isn't a solo trip. It's a path that requires expert guides, bustling marketplaces, and some pretty powerful guardians watching over it.
Okay, so to really get this, we got to talk about one key word, capital. Just think of it like fuel for the economy's engine. Simple, right? So this mother, by saving her money, she's basically a supplier of that fuel. And the whole point of the securities industry? Well, it's built to get her fuel to the engines that need it to grow. We're talking businesses, infrastructure projects, the whole shebang.
So, how does this dollar even start its trip? Well, it definitely doesn't go it alone. It needs guides, right? Experts. The industry calls them financial intermediaries, and their whole job is to help that dollar find its way from the supplier to the user.
And probably the most important guides you'll ever run into on this journey are the investment dealers. These are the firms that are the absolutely crucial link between the savers and the borrowers. And they come in a few different flavors, depending on who they're serving. So you can see here, the industry is really set up to handle investors of all shapes and sizes. You've got your retail firms, and they focus on individuals, like the mother in our story. Then you have institutional firms. These are the ones that handle the massive accounts, like pension funds. And the integrated firms, well, they do both. This whole setup just ensures that capital, whether it's a little or a lot, can flow efficiently from any source. Now, these dealers can wear two totally different hats. First, you've got a principal transaction. Think of this like a car dealership. They own the investment, it's in their inventory, and they sell it to you. Their profit is the price difference. Then you have an agency transaction. This is more like being a real estate agent. They don't own the house, they're just matching a buyer with a seller and taking a commission. Two very different roles, but both are absolutely essential to keep the market moving.
And behind every single one of those transactions is this highly organized process. It starts in the front office, that's sales and trading, the people you actually talk to. Then it moves to the middle office, which handles all the compliance and risk management. And finally, the back office makes sure every security and every dollar settles correctly. It's a real well-oiled machine, and it has to be, because it's all built on accuracy and trust.
Okay, so our dollar has a guide. Now what? It needs a place to go, right? A marketplace, a crossroads, where buyers and sellers can actually meet up. This is where the deals really happen. So here's a really crucial point you have to get. Is our dollar buying something brand new or something that's, well, pre-owned? In the primary market, a company issues a new stock. Think of an IPO. Our mother's dollar goes directly to that company to help it grow. But in the secondary market, like the TSX, she's buying a stock from another investor. The company doesn't get any new money from that trade. It's just a transaction between two investors. And these markets have totally different styles. You've got an auction market, like a stock exchange. It's a central place where buyers and sellers enter their bids and offers until, bam, they find a match. Prices are out in the open. Then you have a dealer market, which is really common for things like bonds. This is more like a network where dealers negotiate prices directly with each other. So think public auction versus a web of private negotiations.
Now, no journey this important would be safe without rules of the road and a serious safety net. That's where the guardians of the system come in, to protect that dollar every single step of the way.
So a huge part of this protection comes from what are called self-regulatory organizations, or SROs. In Canada, the big one for investment dealers is IIROC. The best way to think of it is as the referee of the game. They set the rulebook and they make sure everyone plays fair. It's all about protecting investors and keeping confidence in the market. But what happens if something goes really wrong? Like what if a dealer firm fails? That's where the Canadian Investor Protection Fund, or CIPF, steps in. And this is the magic number to remember. Your investments, your stocks, your bonds are protected for up to $1 million if your IIROC member firm becomes insolvent. That is a huge peace of mind.
And what about the actual cash you have sitting in the bank? Well, that's covered by a completely different guardian, the Canada Deposit Insurance Corporation, or CDIC. It protects your deposits, like in a savings account or a GIC, for up to $100,000 per institution. Okay, it is absolutely vital to know the difference here. Let me say that again.
CIJF protects your investments, like stocks and bonds, if your investment firm fails. CDIC protects your cash savings, like in a bank account, if your bank fails. Two different safety nets for two completely different types of assets.
So after traveling with a guide through a marketplace and under the watchful eye of powerful guardians, where does our mother's dollar finally end up? What is its ultimate impact?
Well, its journey is complete. That dollar that started as a small seed of a goal, saving for a child's education, has been channeled directly into the real economy. When you combine it with millions of others, it funds the businesses that create jobs, the infrastructure we use every single day, and the innovation that drives our whole country forward. It literally builds the world around us.
So never, ever underestimate the power of a single dollar. By understanding its journey, you're empowered to make more informed, more confident decisions about your own financial path. Now you know the journey. How will you direct yours? Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.